Update 73.
From 72 to 76 subscribers. Wow. Y'all get a line for those 4. Welcome, y'all. Once I hit 125 subs, I'll make website subscriptions, so you'll force me to do something.
On my website, if you go to the Void City, I've been messing around with a couple of plugins, and right at the bottom, you can find a short story that I wrote. It's only like 14 pages long, and they're pretty short. But I was able to make this, and it doesn't have the exact formatting that I wanted, but this short story is free to read. If you think the behemoth task of reading an entire novel is too much, I would recommend reading that one. It's an event that happens right between the Astronomy Club and Fraser. So that's one thing I have been up to. Another thing that I wanted to look into. Let me put on my glasses for this one. This English book. I'm looking at chapter 1. There are 8 lessons. This is a 9th and 10th grade English book. And it talks about some of the basics, which I would agree are important to know. Capitalization and end punctuation, commas, colons, semicolons, ellipses, points, quotation marks, italics, dashes, parentheses, brackets, apostrophes, and hyphens. Those are all important things to know. You should know your punctuation, and you should know how it's used properly, because people tend to find your writing easier to read, and that ultimately is the goal of writing. There are a couple of lessons in here that I wanted to look at. The one is Lesson 3, Improving Your Writing Style, Part 1. And I want to see what they have to say about this. Originality. You've had many lessons on writing with good content and organization. This is important, for writing must say something meaningful and say it logically if readers are to understand it. A major element of effective and forceful style is originality. Do not always settle for the first thing that comes to mind. Seek rather to be creative, to express your ideas in a way that is fresh, a way that the reader will enjoy. Another pitfall is to try so hard to be original your writing sounds strained. If a student writes expressions that he or she considers too pretentious for speech, he has probably fallen into this trap. You do not need to write something unusual in every other sentence. Originality is truly effective only when it flows from an active, imaginative mind. Here's the thing. In order to truly teach originality and flex creative muscles, there needs to be a lot more freedom than you're giving your students. The thing with originality is you, the teacher, are not the one that's supposed to find it for your students. You, the teacher, are there to cultivate an environment where they're able to explore that. Writing a new lesson for them every single day is going to stifle creativity so fast that there will be no time for exploration. Yeah. Yeah. Yay! The thing with the way the human mind works, in my experience, I'm not a doctor, the way that originality and creativity works is you're connecting dots that you have already established. I've said this in previous videos. And if you have no time to connect dots that have already been established and are instead only creating new dots, you're going to be so overwhelmed with information, you'll never find your own originality. You'll be too afraid to try and connect dots because you feel like you'll have aged out of it, and you'll fall into doing the same exact thing over and over again because it's comfortable. All right, I want to go through the table of contents one more time and see where else they talk about originality. Because originality and creativity are going to be the foundation of making writing that's worth reading. And if they only have a single lesson about this, goodness gracious, what the... Figurative language, improving editing skills, active voice. Some of these are okay tips, but a student's going to have such a hard time figuring out which one of these lessons is really going to hit home unless you've already learned everything and explored it and made all the mistakes. I would restructure this book differently, but again, that's me. I'm not completely without credentials. I have taught English before, and the way that I learned English was not from a book. It was mostly after I got out of school. So chapter 1 consists of 8 lessons, and I have issues with it. There are 14 chapters total, and I'll keep running through them. But for now, we will put it aside. I had 4 pancakes this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,000 words. It's on my laptop, and it's mostly in that strange poetry story writing that I was telling you about, but it's 1,000. We finally made it. This has been update 73. Oh. That's better.